when you just flick on things without thinking twice.
And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks.
This is very serious because it affects me and my personal safety and my family's personal safety.
Did you feel safe in a London run by someone who tweeted and liked those things?
I'm very careful what I say now, and I've thought long and hard about this.
Watching this made me forget that I really don't like her as an actress.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
It's more than just a celebrity meltdown. It's an all-out showdown between a rising Hollywood star and the political establishment of one of the world's most influential cities. Rachel Zegler, the polarizing actress at the heart of a growing cultural controversy, is reportedly considering stepping away from her lead role in Evita. Sources say the move comes in response to what insiders describe as a relentless smear campaign led by British media and politicians.
Rachel Zegler is the prime example of how you should never think that you're bigger than the project. The only excuse I can make for her is that she's young, she's immature, she doesn't know any better. I've never heard of her before. I don't know if this is her first project or if she's done movies like this before or anything that has anything to do with acting before. But girl, this wasn't it. Like, why'd you go and dog your own movie, dog?
And the response from the mayor's office: brutal, unapologetic, and unmistakably public. According to a source close to City Hall, the message was crystal clear. London doesn't negotiate with narcissists.
This is where narcissism comes in. Psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvashula describes narcissists as people who struggle deeply with empathy, overestimating their abilities, and often shift blame on others when things go wrong. Does this sound familiar?
The narcissist is going to remain a one-person wrecking crew. Please protect yourself, as their rage and their manipulation can literally make you sick.
The internet is still buzzing with disbelief. Just weeks ago, Zegler's notorious balcony appearance lit up social media, triggering a wave of memes, harsh criticism, and unsettling comparisons to authoritarian icon. But what began as digital outrage has since spiraled into a much deeper, far more consequential conflict, one that's no longer confined to the online world.
To everyone who hates me and hates to see me win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still lined up to see her.
Okay, Lord Farquaad, calm down. You aren't the victim here. This is the bed that you made and now you're forced to lie in it.
No, this is because people are just jealous of me.
No, it's because you held a really unpopular opinion. You're just a hypocrite and people don't like that.
This is no longer just about a movie, it's about reputation, power, and whether Rachel Zegler will even make it to opening night. Behind the scenes, things are reportedly unraveling fast. Insiders say she's becoming increasingly isolated. From the cast, producers are in full-blown panic mode, and London officials have reached their limit. But here's where it gets even more explosive.
It's like I'm a very mentally ill piece of...
Oh boy. This might explain some of the comments she's been making lately about playing.
Zegler's team reportedly approached the show's producers with a thinly veiled ultimatum. If the backlash doesn't stop, she's walking. When word of that message leaked, it didn't just rattle the theater world, it ignited fury inside City Hall. In what seems to be a direct clapback, a spokesperson close to the mayor told one outlet, "This isn't Hollywood, this is London, and respect goes both ways."
That's by embracing difference, that's by being diverse, recognizing it's a strength, not a weakness. You know, difference is nothing to be scared about. Of course, you need to make sure you keep your values, democracy, respecting others, the rule of law, but also recognize that actually, building bridges is the way to break down fear, prejudice, ignorance.
So what sparked this nuclear-level fallout? Why is Rachel Zegler now threatening to abandon the very city that was meant to be the stage for her big comeback? And how did the mayor of London end up as one of her most outspoken critics?
Rachel Zegler is back in the news because her PR team is working overtime right now to fix her image because so many of these resurfaced video clips of her just make her look really, really bad. What matters here is perception. Who she actually is actually has little consequence on any of this. How she's perceived by the world. That's what matters. Right. And how she's perceived by the world is not good because she hasn't been able to escape these interview clips, which show a clear disdain for the company she works for, a clear disdain for the story in which she's been hired to help portray and tell.
Let's go back to where it all started, because once you understand the spark that lit this fire, it's clear the fallout may already be irreversible.
Well, Rachel was desperate to play with Baron. You know, it was her idea, and we saw an audition tape.
It was meant to be a triumphant return, the start of a bold new chapter for Rachel Zegler. Cast as the legendary Eva Peron in a high-profile London revival of Evita, she was set to silence her critics, showcase her talent, and win over the public. But it took just one moment to flip the entire narrative on its head.
How are we feeling? There was no world in which I said no. Practically begged you.
It's your West End debut.
I haven't done a musical on stage since my senior year of high school doing Shrek the musical. So it was quite a different one than Shrek.
And you're an icon as well to many.
It's a scary thought.
It's true though. Yeah.
That moment, a now infamous clip of Zegler standing on a theatre balcony, arms outstretched in a messianic pose, shouting into the London crowd, was meant to capture Ava's fiery political passion. Instead, it sparked immediate backlash. Within hours, social media erupted, with British commentators likening it to a dictator's speech. Some called it tone-deaf, others deemed it downright cringe. The memes came fast, the comparisons to authoritarian leaders came even faster, and then the real damage set in. What was meant to be a bold artistic statement quickly morphed into a display of ego. Rachel didn't help matters. In follow-up interviews and behind-the-scenes clips, Zegler was seen laughing off the controversy, even smirking. One viral video showed her in full costume, sipping from a teacup while mouthing, "They said I was too much, so I became more." Rather than calming the storm, it fueled the fire. For many, it didn't just confirm the criticism, it amplified it. She wasn't apologizing, she was doubling down. As the story gained momentum, it stopped being about a balcony moment and became something far bigger.
Rachel Zegler definitely didn't get the most love in movie theaters this year, where a Snow White movie cost Disney $250 million, so she decided to pivot her career back to doing theater, but now she's getting hate for that as well. And now Rachel Zegler is living in London doing the play of Vita, where she is playing the lead, and there's been a lot of iconic actresses to have that part before, like Elaine Page and Madonna. The play of Vita, probably the most famous song is Don't Cry For Me Argentina, which was performed by Madonna in the 1996 movie that actually got her a Golden Globe win. So now Rachel Zegler's performing and she is doing an amazing job, but a lot of people don't like how her and the play decided to organize this. But they've organized it so instead of Rachel Zegler singing inside the theater for the people who paid money for the ticket, she actually goes outside and sings on the balcony where people who didn't pay anything, and they've actually gotten crowds of over 600 people. But the problem is the people actually in the theater are really pissed off about it because tickets are going for as high as $500, but they're actually just watching a live stream of Rachel Zegler singing for a bunch of people who didn't pay anything. And to be fair, this wasn't entirely Rachel Zegler's decision, but she did support the idea saying it makes the play for everyone. Well, except for actually the people who paid money to see it, which is kind of a problem. But with that, I'm Charles Paul. Please subscribe.
That balcony moment didn't just crack her image, it ignited a wider cultural debate and set the stage for the escalating conflict between Rachel Zegler and the City of London. But this was only the beginning. The backlash didn't stay confined to online chatter. Soon the pressure started coming from the very heart of the city's political establishment. As backlash against Rachel Zegler intensifies, it's clear this controversy has gone far beyond social media outrage. Sources reveal complaints flooded local arts councils and, shockingly, even the mayor of London's office. Furious constituents sent letters, emails, and organized calls demanding Zegler's removal. One political columnist wrote, "London's art scene embraces bold expression, but there's a difference between daring and disrespect." Though no official statement came initially, quiet moves were made behind the scenes. Zegler was mysteriously dropped from a major City Hall arts gala, sparking rumors of London distancing itself from the controversy. Theatre insiders say production leaders received informal warnings to tone down the drama or face consequences. Suddenly, this wasn't just an actress stirring trouble, it had become a political firestorm. Rachel didn't back down. According to multiple insiders, she privately warned producers that if the toxic backlash didn't ease, she was ready to walk away from Evita mid-run. She claimed the backlash stemmed from deeper issues: alleged misogyny, xenophobia, and media bullying. Just one balcony moment. Some insiders said she felt abandoned by both the theater and the city, believing the mayor's office was using her as a distraction from bigger problems. But her ultimatum didn't sit well internally. Some cast members were stunned. One reportedly said, "She's turning this into a one-woman show and we're all just extras." Producers found themselves caught between losing their lead or the city's support. When her threat leaked, City Hall fired back hard. A source close to the mayor said, "London doesn't negotiate with narcissists." An official statement from the mayor's Cultural Affairs Office, though unnamed, clearly targeted Zegler. "Respect must be mutual. Our city values cultural expression but does not tolerate contempt." Shortly after, City Arts accounts removed all promotion of Evita, and billboards featuring Zegler vanished from key spots. The message was unmistakable: London was making its disapproval public. Industry insiders are watching nervously. Casting directors are hesitant, producers cautious. What started as a public relations storm is now a professional liability. Some whisper Zegler might even be quietly blacklisted in the UK. Public opinion remains divided. Supporters see a bold artist fighting unfair attacks, while critics call her entitled and out of touch. As the standoff continues, the question isn't just whether Zegler stays in Evie Tits, whether this conflict will define her entire career. Rachel Zegler's war with London is far from over, and her next move could change everything. Stay tuned, this story is just beginning.